Hello, today we are continuing the story of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and the lessons we learn. This is video number 6. Sounds interesting? Join me. Hello, welcome to Take a Step to a Better You. On this channel, I share what I know and continue to learn. And my videos are about business tips, YouTube tips, earning money online tips, and motivation. But for this video, I'm actually sharing lessons from this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And this is video number 6 for those of you who are following me. But if you are new, my name is Sherifa Nakalema, and I'm a business owner here in Virginia, USA. I'm passionate about these topics. So please consider subscribing and sharing my videos and join this community. For those of you, I'll share my schedule at the end of this video. For those of you who've been following along, thank you so much for spending time with me, and I hope you're subscribed, you have notifications on. So this is lesson 1. You know, this is video number 6, but actually it's lesson 1. According to Robert, he says the main lessons he learned from his rich dad were 6. And today we are just starting on lesson 1, which is the rich don't work for money. That's the lesson we are starting today, and that's chapter 1 of this book. So who is Robert Kiyosaki? I always repeat this because some people could be new. But for videos 1 up to 5, I have a link below in the description. I have a link also in the pinned comment and at the end of this video. So you can go start from the beginning, but we are moving on. So who is Robert Kiyosaki? He's a self-made millionaire, an entrepreneur, educator, inventor, with a mission to elevate the financial well-being of humanity, starting with one life and one person at a time. And I read this because I got it from his book. And this person could be you. Please take this seriously. You could find one lesson could make you a millionaire. And the story is about 2 dads. The poor dad, the one he calls his poor dad, the poor dad in the story is his real dad, who was a very intelligent man, highly educated, with a PhD, and he was a splendid of education. But then the poor dad was a dad to his friend Mike, and he met him at age 9. That's the story we are starting today. And this rich dad, he left school at age 13. He was in 8th grade, but became one of the wealthiest people in Hawaii. And Robert learned all these lessons from him. We've covered a lot. We are continuing today. So, lesson number 1. See, please, I know I have an accent. So, when I read in the book, leave a comment for me. Do you really follow when I read in the book? Because when I read the book, it's like something I feel like you have to hear me read, like the way he stated it here. I can't just paraphrase all the time. That's why I turn to the book. But please leave a comment for me. Some of these videos don't have the text on them corrected, but I'll take some time to correct all of them. Some of them are corrected, so you can read from the screen. But this is how it begins, the book. Lesson 1, chapter 1. The rich don't work for money. That's the lesson we're going to learn by the end of this chapter. By the way, it's going to be slow. It's going to be slow. I keep picking up the points, but it's going to be a slow journey by the time I finish this book. By the way, at the end, I'll show you how to get this one for free audio. Then you can maybe go faster than what I'm doing here. So this is how it starts. Robert is talking to his poor dad. He called him poor, but he was not really poor at that time. Okay? So he says, Dad, can you tell me how to get rich? Robert is asking his dad. Now he says, my dad put down the evening paper, which was reading, and he said, why do you want to get rich, son? And Robert is they're speaking. This is the communication between dad and son. He said, because today Jimmy's mom drove up in their new Cutlass, and they were going to their beach house for the weekend. He took 3 of his friends, but Mike and I were not invited. They told us we were not invited because we were poor kids. So he felt sad about that. Maybe you can relate to these stories. So Dad responded, they did? Okay, my dad asked incredulously, yeah, they did. So I replied in a hard tone. So my dad silently shook his head, pushed his glasses up the bridge of his nose, and went back to reading the paper. I stood waiting for an answer. Now, that's the part I'm reading from here, but I'm going now to my notes. Because my notes, that's how I skip a lot of the stuff, and then when I come to my notes. So that's how that conversation started there. And then he said that was 1956. And Robert was only 9 years. Let me put this away for a minute. So, by some twist of fate, Robert had attended the same public school where rich people sent their kids. Because his family lived in one side of the street, on one side of the street of the affluent people. And those affluent people were like doctors, business owners, and bankers. So, now when we go, I went to do that because he put a lot of notes on that, so I took out the summary. Now we go back to the book. But my dad finally put down the paper. I could tell he was thinking, well, son, remember, this is the poor dad now. Well, son, he began slowly. If you want to be rich, you have to learn to make money. And how do I make money? I asked. Well, use your head, son, he said, smiling. Even then, I knew that he really meant, that's all I'm going to tell you. Or, I don't know the answer, so don't embarrass me. That's him saying this. Okay, so that's the book. I keep going back. I hope I'm not confusing you. Now, after that conversation, he puts a title, a subtitle saying, a partnership is formed. So he said the next morning, he told his best friend Mike at school what his dad had said. He said, as far as he could tell, him, Robert, and Mike were the only poor kids in this school. But he says also after that we are not really poor. It's just that they felt as if they were poor because all the other boys had new baseball gloves, new bicycles, new everything. They had all the basics. For them, Mike and Robert, they had all the basics of food, shelter, and clothing. And his dad would say, that the poor dad would say, if you want something, work for it. But there was not much to do, much available for 9-year-old boys. So I'm going back to the book. Because when I got back to the book, a conversation, something is happening. This is where I ended, but there was not much available for 9-year-old boys to do, right? So Mike, after he told the story, Mike, what dad said, that they have to make money. They have to learn how to make money. So Mike is asking Robert, so what do we do to make money? And Mike responded, I don't know. But do you want to be my partner? Remember the subtitle was, a partnership is formed. So Robert is asking Mike, do you want to be my partner? He agreed. And so on that Saturday morning, Mike became my first business partner. I think there is something to learn here, because as adults, you could have this idea and you look for someone to tell, and then you ask for them to become your partner, right? But these were young boys. So we spent all morning coming up with ideas on how to make money. And there is a paragraph I'm skipping now. Then I go to another one. But finally that afternoon, a bolt of lightning struck.
It was an idea Mike got from a science book he had read. Excitedly, we shook hands, and the partnership now had a business. Their partnership, the one they just formed, had a business. Actually, that's why I'm ending today. Let's see what they did next in their partnership. That will be video number 7. For those of you who are new, I have always mentioned the schedule. This channel has a schedule that goes daily. Daily, I read these books. I read from the books. This is a new thing, by the way, I'm doing. I share books. Maybe you suggest some. And I do this every day at 1 p.m. USA Eastern. It may be nighttime for some people, morning time for others, very early, like right now in Malaysia, it will be like 2 a.m. So please Google 1 p.m. USA Eastern time. That's the time for the books. And on Friday, I skip only on Friday because I do YouTube live at the same time. I'm live. You can ask me anything. I actually give out some money. I make it fun. I make it private after that. So come Friday, mark the calendar, same time, 1 p.m. But then I have my old regular schedule, which is only 2 days a week, Thursdays and Sundays. And there I share business tips, YouTube tips. Mostly Thursdays is for tips. And then on Sunday, I tend to record motivational videos. If you are watching this on Sunday, February 14th, you just watched maybe a motivational one because they are back to back. So motivational ones are mostly on Sundays, and then this one also still comes because it's a daily. So 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's 30 minutes earlier. That's when I do the regular schedule and they come out as premieres. So please subscribe and click on the notification bell so you know what's going on. It's active every day. And please share my videos. And if you want this book, if you don't want to go this slow journey because it's going to be slow, hopefully it's a little bit fun for me, for you, please put a comment. Can you get my accent when I'm reading? Because if I have to write everything down, it slow up everything even more because I have to read and write. But sometimes I can just read from the book. So if you want to listen ahead of me, there is a link below. I signed up for Amazon.com for you to have free 1 month audio, even podcast and any other book you want. When you click on that link in the description, it will take you to Amazon Audible. Make sure you start an account for yourself and then sign up for audio and podcast unlimited, they say. If you choose to continue with it, by this is like $7 a month, $7.95, but it's free. And if you have a large community here, I intend to figure out a way to get it for you free continuously. Okay? So share the videos, invite more people, especially on the lives. Let's have fun. Let's create an enriched community right here. That's my passion. Okay, that's the ending. Leave a comment. Is this worth it or not? Because I'm testing it only for Feb, the month of Feb. After that, if there's no picking up more people, I'll end it. But hopefully not. Like I always end them. Take very good care of yourself. Take very good care of your family. Take very good care of your health. Take a step, a better you next time to be video number 7. And we're going to continue to see what these boys did and the lesson they start learning. Okay? Bye-bye.